Okay. Hello, everybody. We're going to get things set up. Brandon's going to hop on here in a second. I'm just going to make sure that things are up and live. Check the Facebook app here. All right, cool. Oh, hey. 3 of you guys here already. Awesome. If you can hear me, okay, go ahead and just type like yes in the comments down below. And that would be very helpful. Okay. Oh, there's Brandon. Hey, Brandon, can you hear me?
Yep, what's up? Can you hear me?
Hey, yeah. I can't see you. I'm not sure, like, what's going on.
Do I have to get XSplit broadcaster? What the heck? To enable virtual camera output, start XSplit broadcaster. Do I even have that? What the heck? Let's do this. All right, that's weird.
Yeah.
There we go. There we go.
Yay, awesome. Okay, cool. Yeah, that was really weird. It's like a strobe light.
Yeah.
All right,
yeah,
cool.
I changed the camera. All right.
Welcome. Great. So there are a few people here. So yeah, we'll go ahead and jump right into it if it sounds okay.
Perfect.
Awesome. I know. So like Brandon and I have kind of like run into each other a little bit on Facebook. We know each other from one of the groups that we're in, but we don't know each other super well. So I'd love for you to tell us a little bit more about you, your background, and how you got to where you are now.
So where to start? So first, I'm from Buffalo, New York, and I've lived here all my life. Played sports all through high school. So I played soccer, basketball, baseball, and sports is basically all I've known most of my life.
Mm-hmm.
I had enough injuries, concussions, knee injuries, you name it. I think the only healthy part of my body is my wrist and hands, and hopefully it stays that way.
Yeah.
But I've gone through enough PT that I decided in high school PT is something I wanted to do. And with that, I picked Daemen College in Buffalo, New York, went there. Went for school, went there for undergrad and grad school, had my doctorate in physical therapy from there. I did internships in Buffalo. I went down to Columbus to work in Ohio State's medical center for an internship, which was an awesome experience. So if anybody's not done with PT school, I recommend traveling, get experience as much as you can. To do that, I didn't pick up golf, ironically, till PT school. So that kind of was something that I figured with family was an easy way to spend time with them and just a good sport you can enjoy regardless of how old you are, how young you are, fitness level, and it's something that you can do by yourself. You don't need people to do it, whereas soccer, basketball, baseball, you kind of need more people to do anything. So it's like, oh, it's something I can do when I'm bored and have nothing else to do. So that kind of got me going. And then I started working for Buffalo Rehab Group in 2017 as soon as I graduated. And I've worked at a bunch of different offices. I've moved my way up. Now I work across 2 offices, and within the next 3 years, I plan on opening an office within the company. So I'll have my own that I'll run. I make my own money on. So it's basically my office to staff, run, all that. And they just front me the loan. I pay them back the loan. Then it's really my office with their name on it. And my goal is to build Golf Fit into it. So, have a place to work with golfers specifically, hit a hitting net, all that fun stuff that's golf specific. So it'll be really exciting to get that going. So that's my current project. Golf Fit. I realized working with a lot of golfers is, you have two options. You go to a driving range and you learn from somebody. They tell you, all right, I need to do X, Y, and Z to fix your golf swing. Mm-hmm. However, they don't tell you fitness wise, what do I need to do? Mm-hmm. So it's the disconnect of, well, yes, I know I need to get my hands here, turn this way, do that, but I can't. How the hell am I supposed to do it?
Yeah.
So you get that disconnect. And then the other end, you work with a personal trainer, PT. Usually they're working with you on getting your mobility, strength back, and that's great and all, but then they don't focus on the golf aspects of, you need the hip rotation, this, that. So I looked at how can we blend that all together, and that's where this idea came from a year ago. It took me about a year to finally get it figured out what I want to do. And this past December, I got my button gear and finally figured everything out. So I started this up. It officially began in December, and it is rocking and rolling. We're doing classes. We're partnered with Encore Golf, which is a Buffalo-based golf company. They make golf balls and some apparel, but mostly golf balls, and they're actually Golf Digest's hottest ball of 2020. They just created a new golf ball. So they're really big and upcoming. We're lucky to be partnered with them. We're creating content for them. Mm-hmm. They're sponsoring us. They're giving us gear to wear and helping us build our name. And then also a new partnership I just got going is with the West New York branch of the PGA. We're working with them with all their junior golfers in the fall for the tournaments. So that's a huge victory to help us build up. And then the big struggle and project right now is just virtual content with COVID. We're doing in-class stuff, mask, cleaning, all that fun jazz, getting people hitting. I'm sure you've seen on our Facebook, on our Instagram, if you peeked at it, we're doing all the different stuff. Mm-hmm. We're trying to build a way to do virtual stuff with people. So can we do golf lessons virtually? Can I give you workouts, all that stuff online? Mm-hmm. And that's really the big project right now, is how can we build that up and build our clientele even more, getting out to other areas outside of just Buffalo, New York. Mm-hmm. So that's the current project. Yeah, that's all I got for right now about me. I hate talking about myself. This is terrible.
Well, thanks for sharing. Mm-hmm. I know everybody's always curious, kind of we leave PT school, and I feel like the way that things are kind of taught right now is you leave PT school to go work for somebody else. So hearing your story, and it sounds like to me that you're planning on opening up another location for the place that you're working right now, which is cool. It's another form of entrepreneurship, and then you have your own business as well. So there's a lot of different avenues that you can take, which is awesome.
So the nice thing is it still lets me do PT full time. It's not I got to quit my PT job working outpatient orthopedic to work on GoalFit. Eventually the goal is, I have my own clinic. So it's looking at, can I do PT full time within the clinic? I want run that office. So it's kind of a different version of owning your own PT business, because if I tried that, Buffalo Rehab Group, we have 11 offices. We're the biggest company in Buffalo. They would eat me up. It just wouldn't be fun to compete with. So being able to work under them, use their name while I run my own, it's basically my own business under their umbrella. So any profit, once I pay off their loan, any profit I get comes back to me. So it basically, I pay off their loan instead of paying off the bank, I get theirs, which is super nice and helpful. And then I can tinker with it how I want it to run. And then I can do GoalFit as an extra supplement and make even more money and really do what I love without the pressure of it needing to be my main breadwinner. So I can say, all right, well, things are a little slow. Let me focus on work, treating patients, and then I can take some time to figure out what I need to do, rather than saying, all right, I need to figure this out and get money now, or I'm losing my house. So it gives a nice little bit of relaxing on it, that I can do it as I need to. Granted, that also means I'm working 50 hours treating patients, and then GoalFit's taking another 20 hours. So it's huge time commitment. Luckily I sleep 4 or 5 hours a night, so I'm doing all right, but it definitely keeps you going.
Yeah. And if it's something that you enjoy doing, for the most part, I think that's something that's really important. And I think it's a good point that you bring up that I think like a lot of people who are considering doing their own business think that you have to give up everything else, like you have to give up your full-time job, but you don't really. Like you could just start something, tomorrow and pick up like one patient every few months and just do something on the side, something that you enjoy and that makes you happy. And I know we didn't talk about this prior, but I'm just curious because I get a lot of questions about this from people, like you're working for a company, but then you also have your own kind of like physical therapy company. Do you have like a non-compete with Buffalo Rehab Group, or like how has that relationship worked?
So actually it's almost the opposite. They encouraged it.
Really? That's so cool.
So one of the partners, Steve Gonzer, he runs his own thing. It's Run Smart Online. And he basically does what I did, but with runners. And he's really kind of what really got my gears turning, talking to him about it. He's like, yeah, I do it. He makes a boatload of money off doing it, working with runners. He gets runners that come in just to see him. He's seen people from as far as like an hour and a half away coming in just to see him for injuries. So that's what really got me going. And I talked to him. He's like, yeah, as long as you're not going to do something stupid, we'll let you do it. So that's why I can run my classes out of the clinic, and I'm not saying, oh, shit, now I got to get separate malpractice insurance. I just practice under their insurance, their umbrella there. I just do it outside of clinic hours, and anybody that is hurt or would be needing physical therapy, I bring into clinic during clinic hours as a patient for BRG as opposed to me independently. And then other than that, they let me do whatever I want in terms of use the space, marketing, give me their email list of people who have signed up for golf courses I've presented in the past. So they really have been awesome to work with. So they really encouraged it because they looked at it as it's twofold. It helps build me up, bring in my presence and market in the area so I can bring more people into the clinic as well as just building myself up and letting me do what I want. So they've been amazing to work with.
That's really cool. I'm glad to hear that because I've heard a lot of the opposite story. Like a lot of companies get wind of their employees, like starting their own little practice. And to me, like, I totally agree with like where your company is coming from. And I feel like if your employee is taking it upon themselves to like develop marketing and sales skills, it's only going to be an asset for the company.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm trying to keep people out of the clinic. The thing I'm doing is not exactly PT specific. So it's not like I'm saying, all right, come to see me just for PT. And yeah, Will, I love the comment. I love it too. It's really what got me going. But it's just fantastic that they let me do it. I can do as I please.
Yeah.
And it really has helped bring my market up, bring people in the clinic, and other people know I love golf. So they come to see me. And then when they're done with PT, they come over to Golf Fit and we work on their fitness, getting them golf ready. And it really is a dream come true because they do well. So it markets me to them and markets them to me. So it's always looking at how can I help them? They help me. And that's really what I pitched to them when I said, hey, I want to start this business up. It'll help you guys. It'll help me get me where I want to be. And everybody grows from this. Nobody's going to get hurt.
Yeah, absolutely. Because like in the end, it's what's best for you. It's what's best for your company and the patient. Like you're able to really like give the patients and your clients like a full cycle of care, and nobody has to get upset about things.
Exactly.
And like Travis said, having more of a growth mindset versus like that fixed mindset. So that's really cool. I am really happy to hear that. So tell us a little bit more about like Golf Fit. I know that you have, like I talked to you a little bit about it, the 8-week program. What kinds of like services do you offer people? How do you work with people typically?
So a lot of what we do is kind of up to the person. So like you can do an individual golf lesson where you're working with our golf pro. So there's 4 of us that run it. It's me, another physical therapist, a physical therapist assistant, and a golf pro. So we really got everything covered because I realized if I try and do all this myself, I'm definitely going insane. There's just too much to cover. Way too much to cover between marketing, finances, building programs to get people stronger and more flexible, to teaching golf lessons. And I've done my fair share of studying TPI, Gary Gray golf. So I know it, but it's not the same as hearing, yeah, I'm a physical therapist teaching you golf. I took a couple of lessons on how to teach people how to golf versus I'm a golf pro. I'm PGA certified. So that just helps the marketability there. So it's making sure you get the right connections. And Chris, the golf pro, he really helped us get that PGA connection in the fall. So that's huge right there. So don't be afraid to get other people in. Yes, there's more mouths to feed, but in the end, if you get the right people in, your business will grow and grow and grow. And then everybody's mouth gets fed. It's not, well, now I got to split $200 amongst 4 people. We're making $1,000 weeks right now, and we're just getting started.
That's awesome.
So that's huge. So it really get the right people in place, and it all just falls in line. But so Chris offers lessons where it's you do lessons with Chris solely if you don't want to do the fitness part of it, and that's fine. We don't take that personally. We know some people are like, well, I'm fit, I know what I'm doing, I'm just going to learn how to golf part. And that's fine. And then there's other people that want everything. So it's, like the 8 weeks of better ball striking. What you do is you come in, warm up. It's about an hour long session for you. Warm up. We get our hands on, whether it's John, Jay, or I. Stretch you out, find out where you're tight, whether it's your thoracic spine, hips, golf-based stuff. Get you loosened up. Take a 15-minute lesson with Chris on hitting the ball, learning to strike the ball better. Chris also has a background in exercise science, which is fantastic. So that's really good because then he looks at, well, we're tight through here, so we can't get to this position we need for golf. So then they send him over to me, and I tailor their workout program to, all right, you have tight hips. Let's open up the hips. You have a weak core. Let's strengthen your core. So we're really looking at what do we need to do to improve that swing. And then they come back in 2 weeks and we repeat, see what they've progressed through, what they're going on, and we just continue to build on that. So you get 4 sessions with the golf pro. So you get basically an hour's worth of time with Chris learning how to golf better. You get basically 4 hours with us learning how to get stronger, more flexible, and better. And that's the program we're running right now. Next program we're looking at is, we're calling it drive for show, putt for dough. So basically, again, working on the swing and you better, and then also working on the short game because a lot of people suck at that. I sucked at it for a long time. I spent the past 2 years working on that exclusively. We've gotten better, but people don't take the time to work on how do you putt, how do you chip. So we're looking at how can we hit all aspects of that at once, and that'll probably be a 10-week program, a little more expensive because you're getting more out of it, but you're still getting the same workouts, mobility, and that's really the focus is you get hands-on stretching, personalized workout program based on what we see, and then a golf lesson. So it's everything you could want. That's the main selling point is that kind of stuff. We do swing analysis. So you send us a video or come in person, we'll meet you somewhere. And oh, wow, Travis, we got to work on that, buddy. 40 putts. That's half of it, right? That's half your score right there, I hope. Hopefully there's not much more. But it's looking at how can we get you moving, and then So the swing analysis, as I was mentioning before I got sidetracked, is just where do we stand? It's kind of get a foot in the door. It's $20. Look at how you move. What do you need to work on? And we find a way to sell that to you as a free trial in a way, and then you come back for more. And that's another thing we're offering too, is a refer a friend program, which is huge because it'll pay for your session. You bring 3 other friends in, it covers your session, and it still brings us in some money, so it's worth our while. And it just motivates people to get more people in. And it allows you to bring your friends for cheaper. I think you froze, Morgan.
Am I back?
There we go. Yep.
Sorry. Yeah, no, that's awesome. I love that I think you have a really cool entry point, that swing analysis that you're talking about, it's a pretty low barrier to entry to come and try things out, see if, your clients like you, and if they want to buy into working with you. And then having a program that kind of goes over everything that could be involved, to help out. And I just really like that it's kind of like a 360-degree program, you're really offering a lot to your clients, it's not just one thing versus the other. So that's awesome. Kind of like zooming out, like bigger picture wise, I know like you've been thinking about this idea for a long time and then kind of just like really started in December. What are like some of like the biggest challenges you've faced as an entrepreneur?
New York State sucks to start a business in. Let me just start with that.
Why?
It's just lots of things to jump through. I mean, COVID didn't help, so things got delayed with just processing paperwork. But it's just, if you don't know what you're doing, you don't have somebody to refer to, it's just tedious going through the website. All right, I need this form, that form, but wait, no, wrong type of business. All right, I need to go to this. So it's just a little bit of a runaround if you're not quite sure what to look for. If you know what you're doing, it gets a bit more streamlined. It wasn't terrible, let me tell you that, but it was just a little bit of navigating around to figure out what to do. But I mean, that's really the biggest thing, is just getting yourself set on the plan and then getting the paperwork in. Once you get the paperwork in, it's down to figure out what you want to do. You know, what's my niche? What am I going to hit? You know, is it going to be working CrossFit, golf, runners, triathletes? Like, what's the niche? Find your spot. There's something out there. There's something you enjoy, something you're good at. Do that. You know, it might be, how do I teach other PTs how to start their business? It's a great niche, because a lot of people are like, what do I do? Luckily, I have a background in business. I took some business classes in college because I knew this is something I'd want to do down the road, whether it's my own PT clinic or something like Golf Fit. I wasn't sure what it was, but I knew I wanted a business, so I needed to know, what the hell am I doing?
Yeah.
So having that background helped a lot. That I knew, all right, I need to do X, Y, and Z. I really need that business plan created before I jump in. So it's really, you know, I love to use the analogy of, it's your final essay in college. Create that outline. Don't just start getting research and start typing away, because you're going to spin faster than a tire in mud. If you get that outline of, all right, here's my theme, here's what I'm going to need to do to get where I want to get, and that's how I'm going to do it. So if you have that outline, it makes it that much easier to get in place. And that's what took me a while to finally get started. But once after December, I knew John and Jay would be great guys to bring along, and I got them on, and I'm like, all right, now we can really make this happen. Otherwise, I was like, well, now I need to try and get marketing done. Now I need to figure out, how am I going to get people interested in me? What am I going to do? How can I build a website? How can I do all these things? And I'm like, it's an overload. So then I sat down one night, had a bottle of bourbon on the desk with me, and I figured, all right, let's spend as long as I need to figure this out. And I got an outline down, and I brought it to John and Jay. I'm like, hey, what do you guys think? Like, all right, let's do it. Let's make it happen. And we all took a chunk of it to figure it out and make it actually happen. And here we are.
Yeah. Well, that's great. Like, I think it definitely is really beneficial to like have something kind of written down, like a framework. And, you know, the thing is you can always change it, you know, but you kind of need like a starting point. And then I love the fact that, you know, you have that team, you know, and I imagine that like you all delegated kind of to your strengths, you know, like what you were going to be able to handle best for the business, which is great. What are some other like top tips, if you had to give like your top 2 to 3 tips to somebody who is brand new? You know, if somebody came to you and said, Brandon, I'm really thinking about starting my own business. You know, like what suggestions do you have for somebody brand new?
First thing I would say is find that passion in that niche. You know, what do you enjoy doing? What can you see yourself doing for the next 30, 40 years? And want to do and work with, you know, what will be more of fun than a job? You know, what's that hobby? Find that and make sure it's a good niche. Don't, you know, be like, I just want to work with outpatient people and make that a specialty. That's too vague. You got to find something really honed in, you know, golfers, you know, I want to work with college gymnasts. I want to work with moms that want to get back to running after having a baby and are afraid of postpartum issues with it. Can I get, you know, triathletes that want to work on improving their swim, runners, you know, that's your first thing, is find that niche. Because if you don't have that, nothing else will fall in line. You're not going to know what the hell to do next. Because then you don't know how to market, advertise. Like I did a lot of my work. I spent out to golf, like driving ranges. I went to country clubs, golf retail stores. That's where I've laid out my groundwork to find clients. You know, it sucks because it's a lot of hours. You go, hey, can I set up a tent to pass out flyers or, you know, stretch golfers before their tournament? And sometimes you get no, and it sucks. But for every 5 no's, you get 1 or 2 yeses, and that brings in 10, 15 customers. Like last Sunday, I spent 6 hours at a golf tournament just as a sponsor. It sucked not being able to play. But we handed out cards, got emails, we talked to people, and we got 30 new clients out of it. So it's taking that time to do the dirty work is huge. That's my second tip is you got to get the feet out there. You can't just, as great as social media is, if you are a no name, nobody's going to find you. You're going to spend, you know, $30 boosting your post, and you're going to get maybe 5 new views and 10 likes or nothing. You're going to get, oh, kudos. You got to get out in the community. That's the second thing is just get out in the community, work with the golfers, whoever, just get out there, get your face out there. It's going to suck. I've spent mornings. Our clinic works and is open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. I spend hours at 5 a.m. working with golfers before I work and then treat 7 to 7 and then go home. I have spent days working, you know, 7 to 7 and then spend another 2 hours after working with golfers. So it's, you got to put in that dirty work to get your name out there and build that clientele. It doesn't just come there from posting on social media. And then the last thing I would say is don't be afraid to do it. Go for it. You have that dream. You have that thought. Nothing's holding you back. You already have a job as a PT that's stable, hopefully. Knock on wood, it's all stable, but you have a stable job for steady income. You have nothing to lose other than the couple $100 to start up a business and get an official business name and make it legally a business. Outside of that, hopefully, unless you're buying a rental space, which hopefully you don't do just yet, but you're minimizing cost for a high reward. It's low risk, high reward. You know, the best thing that happens is you're a successful business that becomes fantastically amazing. You're like Joey D's down in Florida. They work with all the top golfers and elite athletes. Or you're, you know, the next Gary Gray. That's the best that happens. The worst that happens is, shit, you lost $300 and 4 months of hard work. I think it's a pretty easy choice to make of go for it. Make that name for yourself, do it. And those are really the big tips is work hard, find that niche you want to work in and go for it. Don't hold back.
I think that's great, you know, and I think like that's a big message that like I'm trying to put out there to as many therapists as I can is, you know, like you said, the worst thing that can happen is you figure out you don't like it, you know, or that you don't really want it to be part of your life. You'd rather live your life a different way, which is totally fine. You know, and you always will have like that credential to fall back on to find something else to do for your career. You know, and I truly believe that like any therapist, you know, as long as it's legal and everything, like you should have your own business, you know, whether you see one person every year or, you know, like 20 people a week. You know, it's totally up to you what you want to do. And like the best part about it too, like your tip on finding that niche is that you can find something you enjoy doing. You know, like I work with CrossFitters because I do CrossFit and it's something I like, you know, and you're working with golfers because you like golf. It like brings like that element of joy kind of back to therapy. You know, if you are kind of like in a position at a clinic or at a hospital working with patients that, you know, they're nice people, but aren't necessarily like where you're wanting to spend all of your time. So I think that's awesome. And I know, like you mentioned, like you really have to get out there in the community. And I think that that is a really good piece of advice. You know, what I tell people is that you have to be assertive. You know, like a lot of people will come to me and say, well, you know, nobody is sending me patients, you know, but when you're first starting out, you have to go find them. You know, like you said, nobody knows who you are. You have to be assertive, put yourself out there and take the initiative to find clients. And, you know, you've done that. You talked about, you know, sponsoring at golf tournaments, you know, just being around your own clinic, you know, and representing your business, you know, going to like different clubs and things like that to put yourself out there. This is like the number one question I get all the time is, well, where am I going to find clients? So I know you talked about it a lot already, but do you have any other advice on that for somebody struggling to get clients?
So really the first place I got clients was from my job, my company. So what I did really was every year we do a partnership with the YMCA in Buffalo, and we do a wellness series. And there's a variety of different talks, and I'll do some of them. But the big one I always make sure I do is we have a Golf Smart, Golf Fit one. So we presented at 2 different locations, one in the North Towns, one in the South Towns, so that people can make it. And it's a great way of you find out who the golfers are within where you work, and it gets your name out there and face it. They're like, oh, he works with golfers. Cool. I'm going to come chat with him after, and, I'll offer him a free visit, hey, come in, let's talk straight golf, previous injuries, any current injuries. Let's figure out what the hell's going on, and let's figure out what you want and need. And that was really the first step of building the clientele. And then after that, it was, all right, I got my in with work, so I can get that. And then I start to say, oh, other PTs, other people, front office at my job, we have 11 locations. They say, oh, Brandon's the golf guy. Let's send this patient that way. So any new patient that's a golfer, and explicitly we know that, they come to me. So that's a good start right there, is start with where you work. Find how you can get the niche. Can I do a community outreach program of, let me run a once a month presentation on different aspects within it. So, I'm a runner. Well, let's talk about running shoes. Let's talk about running form. Let's talk about training. Find out that kind of stuff. Present it to the community. Get them out there. Get them into the clinic. Your clinic will appreciate it because that'll get them exposure too.
Yeah.
A win-win. It's when you market to somebody to reach out and help you is, what can I do for you? How can I help you? Not, I'm coming in here so I can get people. It's, I want to do this to help you guys. How can I get more people in your building or that? Yeah. So that's when I go to the country club. I want to do something for them at a tournament or run a free class. I'm like, hey, I know country clubs are slower in the winter in Buffalo because it snows and the weather sucks.
Yeah.
Do you lose business then? Well, what if I do this? I run a class once a week or once every other week or once a month. I get people in there. They pay $20 for you to get a breakfast or lunch while we're talking, and I present to them, and that's it. And that works pretty well, or, hey, can I get out to their tournament, help them out, keep them healthy, and, little things like that, help out. And that's, I make no money off it, but I get the ultimate sell of I get clients, I get my name out there, I always make sure I get an emails sign up list with emails, phone numbers, names.
Yep.
That way I have it, and I have my fun MailChimp list of everything, and I separate it by where I got their information, and then it's all right. I got the master list. All right, let's send. Hey, we're starting up this program. We're doing this. We're gonna be at this event. If you're interested, come check us out. We'll have a tent. Like we're gonna do the Rochester Golf Expo until they got canceled. That's a big one. We're eventually gonna try and get down into the PGA show down in Florida. But it's money more of that. And then the biggest thing is just getting out there. Is find the more you do for the community, the better it looks for you, because people appreciate giving back, as well as it's just a good way to find the right people. And the biggest thing too is know who your clientele is going to be. Know what you're looking for. If you're looking to work with certain level runners, you want those marathoners, half marathoners, triathletes. Market to that. Don't be afraid to say no to somebody that's, I just want to run a 5K on Thanksgiving and then drink beer after. If that's not who you want to work with, give them your information, be polite, but don't hound them and chase them down, because they're not going to come back to you, because that's not who you want to work with.
Right.
If you want to work with that person, do whatever you got to do to get their information. Like I work with most golfers in the mid-level handicap. I don't like to work with beginners because there's way too much that needs to be taught and worked with. So I stay away from that. I'm not gonna say no if they ask and want to pay, but that's not my key marketing tool. I'm looking at, a few people are familiar with golf. You're 15 to like scratch golfers, 15 handicap scratch golfers. We're looking for those guys because they're going to work hard. They're more willing to do the stuff we want to do. So that's awesome and super useful versus, how the hell do I hold a golf club and swing? That's just not what we want to do. So we're marketing carefully. So get out in the community, but make sure you're identifying who you want to work with. find that ideal client
Mm-hmm.
profile, and then work from there. If you don't have that and you just go out in the community, you're going to end up with anybody and everybody. And it might be a little overwhelming because it's, well, shit, I've got this beginner and then this expert, and they're expecting me to both to teach them what I need to know. So it's really narrow it down to what you want to do, which again is that niche you need to find.
Yeah.
And then go at it, get out there. The more you do out and about, you can't sit behind a computer screen typing, oh, look at this funny post, or come check this out. It's no, get out there. People like face-to-face interaction more than they like getting blessed with emails. Sorry, Aaron LeBauer.
Yeah, you know, like
I love what he does, but it can be intimidating.
Yeah, like I think like just, you know, like you said, like the more like face to face, even if it is, you know, like virtual like this, in my opinion, but like the more like one-on-one and like genuine relationships you can build, the better off you'll be, because it's a lot more meaningful. So I think that's great, you know, and like you were saying too about like finding like the almost like the niche within the niche, you know, if you don't kind of like narrow that down, you're going to end up filling your caseload with like patients that you notice that they're on your schedule and it's like, ugh, I have to see this person.
They're in again.
Yeah. And like,
can I pass them off to my PTA? It's lunchtime. I need a coffee.
Yeah. Yeah. And like when it comes down to it, you're not building a business to work with people that you're like, ugh, I don't want to work with them.
That's why you want your businesses, so you don't have to deal with that. So
yeah, exactly. You know, and like you'll be able to give like a much higher quality experience to people that you enjoy being with, you know, and that's definitely the goal. So I think that we've gotten some really amazing advice from you. So I really appreciate you sharing this stuff. And, you know, speaking of like growth mindset and all of that stuff, this is our self-promo time segment. So how can we best support you? What are you working on right now? What are you looking for? And like, how can we send like abundance to you?
So, again, I hate talking about myself, but all right. So the Golf Fit, we want to help you golf year round. Main thought is Buffalo, especially anybody that's in the Northeast. You know, winters suck. You can golf maybe from April if you're lucky till maybe beginning of October, Columbus Day time. It's not a lot of time. You spend a lot of time. So we want to get you golfing at your best from day one, from the first round of the year to the last round of the year. We want you to be able to play year round, play, you know, that buddies trip where you're playing 3 rounds on a vacation in 2 days. We want you to be able to play all 3 rounds without saying, holy shit, I'm sore. This sucked. I'm not in shape for that. Or, you know, I want to play 4 days in a row and I'm fine. Or some of the older people we work with, I want to be able to play 18 holes on Saturday, walk it with my son, and then Sunday I can wake up the next day and I'm fine moving around and doing my yard work. I can mow the lawn and then watch Sunday football. Little things like that. That's really the big focus. And obviously, yes, some of the higher level golfers, we want to get you scoring lower and better and improve your golf game. You know, whether it's ball further, hitting it more accurate, fine tuning your swing. So it's really doing all that. So check out our social media at the Golf Fit, _Golf Fit on Instagram, the Golf Fit PT on Facebook, our website, thegolffit.com. Check us out. If you want more information, feel free to reach out to me on Facebook. Reach out to us on our Facebook page at the Golf Fit. Right now, we're a bit more limited to the Buffalo, Erie County, Western New York area. Looking to expand that to work with people virtually more, but that's a work in progress. So don't get mad at us for that. But feel free to anybody that wants more information to us, regardless of where they are in the country or the world. We'd love to work with them. Just bear with us as we figure out how to work through golf over the internet. But workout wise, that's an easy thing to work on across the world. So if you have more information, you want to get better, you want to get golf fit, reach out.
Awesome. Cool. Yeah. And I will leave your links in the description or in the comments below
Perfect.
if anybody wants to reach out to Brandon for any and all things golf, especially in the Buffalo area. Yeah. And thank you so much for being here. I know that there are a lot of PTs wanting to get into like the golf niche. So I will definitely be sending people your way who have questions around
Yeah,
golf.
absolutely.
So
Yeah,
my knowledge about it is about this much. So
it's a lot to learn about a simple game.
yeah.
I will gladly help anybody that's golf PT that wants to do something similar to me. I will gladly help anybody out because I know how nice it was to have a mentor in business entrepreneur with Steve Gonzer with Run Smart Online. Super helpful, but to have that golf specific help too is, I wish I had that. That'd make it so much easier to get this started. So
Yeah.
I'll gladly help anybody out, but don't take away my patients and clients. I'm kidding. I will gladly help anybody out.
Awesome. Well, cool. Yeah. So thank you so much, Brandon. Really appreciate it.
Anytime.
And if any of you guys watching have questions, on golf, direct them to Brandon. If you're interested in starting your own practice, let me know. I am super happy to answer any questions on any of this stuff. Yeah, and just drop any comments below, especially if you're watching on replay, and we will get back to you. So awesome. Yeah. Thank you, Brandon. I hope
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Talk to you later.
Bye.